The following is a live presentation of CBC Sports.
Team Canada's pursuit of the '96 World Cup began on the West Coast 72 hours ago versus their ultimate rivals from Russia. A blend of big hits, especially from Eric Lindros and Scott Stevens, timely scoring by last year's hero of the Stanley Cup, and great goaltending provided the bearers of the Maple Leaf with a 5-3 victory. They then crossed the continent and tangled with the U.S. squad last night in Philadelphia, hoping to grab a foothold on first place, grab their first lead of the game in the first period.
Back to the line, and the long shot is tipped, but Messier fired, but he scores! Messier coming in and take the rebound and drive it home to give Canada a 2-1 lead.
But Glenn Sather saw his squad's control last just 5 minutes, and Brett Hull put it away.
Into the corner. Messier moves out at the top of the triangle. A long score! Shot by Hull! Power play goal! 4-2 USA!
4-2 early in the third. It ends up 5-3. The Americans sought respect and a good start. They got both. Team Canada now, following a 5-3 win and a 5-3 loss, heads into the nation's capital to face Slovakia. Tremendous anticipation, a gorgeous Sunday in the nation's capital, and here inside the Corral Center, a capacity crowd awaits Team Canada and Slovakia, the final game of the round-robin portion of the tournament for Team Canada. As we welcome you inside, good evening, I'm Ron McLean. Let's get this straight. It's not a sure thing tonight. There's only one country in this entire tournament Canada's never beaten, and that's Slovakia. And you're saying, well, it's probably one game somewhere. It's actually 6 games, 5-1, Team Canada versus Team Slovakia. The Slovaks beat the Canadians at Lillehammer, Norway in the round robin, tied last year at the World Championship. So Canada's got its work cut out. We'll show you a little later the list of impressive NHLers they have, led by Peter Bondra, 52 goals last year, 34 to lead the league a couple of years ago. It's a big game. Canada doesn't have to win it. If the United States were to beat Russia tomorrow night, the Canadians are in, but it'd be foolish to play those odds. They're playing their third in 4 nights, and they're coming off a late trip into Ottawa. It didn't arrive until 4 a.m. First, let's tell you the story overseas. Sweden won the European pool with a 5-2 victory over Finland in Stockholm this afternoon. The Swedes will get a week off. They'll play next Saturday in Philly. Finland will play on Friday. Germany will start over here Thursday evening. So that's the order of finish. Sweden, Finland, and Germany there. Now tonight, Canada has a chance to put pressure on the USA and the Russians if they can beat the Slovaks. As I say, they arrived here at 3:30 a.m. But Paul Coffey says the Canadians aren't looking for any alibis. As they hit the ice tonight, they have 3 lineup changes, and he says they feel right.
Well, we feel great. We get up at a good team meeting. Most of the guys went for a walk, and like you said, there's no time for excuses this time of year. It's a round-robin tournament. Bingo bango, if you lose too many, you'll be out of it. So we can't use anything as a crutch. We just got to come out and be ready to play.
What kind of things are you trying to do tonight against Slovakia?
I think get the puck in a little bit deeper. There was no secret in the game last night against the States, especially the second period. We were a little bit tired. We had traveled the day before from the West Coast. And, we're up 2-1, and we turned the puck over a couple of times at their blue line in the neutral zone. That cost us, and I think if we had got the 3-1 lead, it would have been a different game. So what we're going to try to do is get our forechecking game established a little more.
Great ovation for the Canadians here at the Corral Center.
Well, now, last night I said they were going to lose. I predicted it before the game. They had a lot of things going about them. If the United States wasn't going to beat them last night, they were never going to beat them. They will win tonight. They've got to run up the score. Say they had a 1 last night, they'd have won tonight 3-0. They'd have been dumb and contented. Now they're a little desperate when I'm talking to them. They know they've got to win. They've got to get after these guys like they should have the States last night. They've got to run up that score because the goals might mean something. But they got to dump the puck in. Last night they were going at the blue line, losing it, coming back like Coffey said, dump it in, get in after him, climb him up there behind him, put it in the net.
Sylvain Cote goes in for Blake tonight. Shanahan's back. and Steve Yzerman. I know you're expecting a big game this evening in for Brind'Amour. Let's get thoughts on the game. We're joined by two fellows who haven't been on the air yet on the tournament, but you'll see a lot of Chris Cuthbert and John Garrett, including right now. Chris.
Thanks, Rob. We're looking forward to it. John Garrett's got his Team Canada tie circa 1977. When these two teams met in the pre-tournament game, Glenn Sather said it's not a turn-on game for his team like it is against Russia or the United States. How did they get up for this one?
Well, it was a nothing game. It was an exhibition game, but it'll be easy to get up for this game. Ron mentioned the Brendan Shanahan is in. He's an aggressive player, get the puck deep, he can use his size. Steve Yzerman has been just so excited about getting into the lineup and playing for his country. And Sylvain Cote will add some muscle on the blue line. They didn't hit the U.S. last night like they did the Russians. That will help tonight against the Slovaks.
Big edge for Canada in this game. They outweigh the Slovakians by 12 pounds per man. We're getting set for Canada and Slovakia from the Corel Center in Ottawa.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join Constable Lyndon Sewage, Zlangivuko Stable Lyndon Sewage for All Canada!
Constable Lyndon Sewage has stirred the emotions here in what is the biggest international game in the nation's capital since Team Canada and Finland met to open the Canada Cup in 1976. Final game of the round robin in the North American pool. John, I was kind of impressed with the way Slovakia performed in the game against Russia. Curtis Joseph is back in tonight to start for Team Canada. He looked sharp in the opening game of the tournament and met Slovakia in that pre-tournament game in Edmonton.
He played very well in that pre-tournament game. He stopped about 5 breakaways. He had problems handling the puck against the Russians. And I think that's why Glenn Sather made the change. Curtis Joseph was very good stopping the puck, but outside the net, he was an adventure.
Well, speaking of that, at the other end, Jaromir Dragin was drop-kicked from the starting lineup after allowing 7 to the Russians yesterday, and Roman Mega gets his first ever start for Slovakia. I'm a little disappointed because I wanted to hear your analysis of Dragin, but you're wondering about Mega and how he'll stand up against the great Canadian shooters.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on the entire team, but on a goaltender who hasn't played at the international level, getting his first start in Ottawa, although the Slovaks are the home team, obviously on the road, a lot of pressure. And he's a little goaltender, 154 pounds. It's hard for him to cover much of the net.
Well, you've always been biased to larger goaltenders like yourself. Mark Bossett in charge of proceedings tonight, Kevin Collins and Scott Driscoll. And Bossett calling the centers in for the face-off. It's Eric Lindros and Joseph Stumpel. We know the Slovakians can score, and the big line is out with Peter Bondra, Stumpel, and Zygmunt Palffy. And the Boston Bruins center fires it in. There's Bondra on right wing. It comes around for Eric Desjardins. And Desjardins in front of his own net, and Palffy was there. Desjardins again pushing it ahead. Brendan Shanahan returning to the lineup. And Bondra backhands it in. And we've got an injured player out at center ice for Team Canada as Keith Primo is a little woozy.
And I think that's what it is. He's had his bell rung. It looked like his knees were just giving way. It wasn't a knee problem. Keith Primo has been one of the best Canadian forwards, at least the most consistent Canadian forward. And there's Ken Lowe, and obviously he's checking his eyes, asking him, do you know where you are? And Keith Primo saying he's all right. You can see his words as he's talked to Ken Lowe. You sure now? Are you sure? Primo goes down heavily as he ran into Eric Lindros, and it was Primo that took Lindros's knee to the head.
Here's a steal by the Slovakians. And it's cleared just outside the line. Hasek, Seeger, and Kolnick, the forward unit for Slovakia. Puck cleared on the left wing, too far for Dom Poos, who's out there with Gretzky and Trevor Linden. Gretzky with a couple of goals last night. Canada playing its third game in 4 nights. Here's Kolnick at center, and that's broken up. Scott Stevens sends Linden away. Here's Gretzky over the line, shooting, and Mega makes his first stop. Hey. Slovakia clearing it down the ice, and Adam Foote back to touch it to get the icing call.
You look at the Slovakian lineup, and you can recognize some of the names. Robert Svela played so well for Florida in the playoffs. Ivan Dropa has been one of their best defensemen, and he plays in the Chicago organization. He was up with the Blackhawks for a couple of games last year. And you look at their forward lines, their number 1 line, obviously Bondra, Stumpel, and Palfi, but also Zdeno Seeger and Miroslav Zhatan offer a lot of offense for this Slovak team.
From the face-off, puck cleared wide, and a penalty is coming up as Fleury hops on the puck. There's Steve Yzerman, who was pulled down, and a penalty coming up against Slovakia. The extra attacker out for Canada. Here's Fleury, a quick shot off the ankle of Yzerman. Foot moving up. Yzerman behind the net with Joe Sakic. Sakic maintains control in the slot. Foot couldn't get a shot away. Coffey cross ice as Canada already on the power play for about 20 extra seconds before the penalty call is made.
Mark Possett is signaling a holding penalty right from the face-off, and the Slovaks don't know who is going to go. Slovaks felt they would have a problem standing around watching. Joseph Bukna goes off for holding right from the face-off. Standing around watching the Canadians, they felt they'd be in awe of the superstars. I think here's an example. Steve Yzerman, all tied up. Bukna hauls him down, takes a holding penalty.
Penalty to Slovakia's number 29, Mate Bukna, 2 minutes for holding. Time of the penalty, 1:59.
Mate Bukna, and I called him Joseph. I thought Joseph was a little easier to pronounce. M-A-T-E-J, Bukna. So I changed his first name.
So Canada going to the power play, 4 for 11 in the tournament. Coffey at the right point. There's Gretzky. Back to Coffey. Bondra, one of the penalty killers, lost his stick and sweeps it down the ice with his glove.
Slovaks gave up 3 power play goals to the Russians yesterday, and they felt that was one of their real downfalls.
Here's Gretzky over the line. Tried to dish it off to Lindros. Coffey the shot right on. Rebound, and Mega cleared it. Gretzky tries to center it. Stumpel there, and he'll clear it out to center ice. Joe Sakic at the point with Coffey for Team Canada. 45 seconds gone in the power play. And Lindros winding up. Gretzky awaits the pass at the blue line. Fires it across. Here's Coffey. Weak shot. Side of the net. Centered Shanahan. And he couldn't put it in as Mega was down. Back to Shanahan again. Gretzky leading the Canadians in scoring. Shanahan right on. Rebound. And Lindros crashing in there. Dropa takes him out. They double team Lindros in the corner. Now Palfi in to help out. Shanahan checked him, and now here's a 2-on-1 for Slovakia. And Shanahan broke it up. And there are some fans of Slovakia in the building that thought a penalty should have been called. Here's Messier over the line, 20 seconds to go in the power play. And Slovakia clears it back down.
Brendan Shanahan, a good job coming back. Paschuk took the dive, trying to draw the penalty. Mark Fawcett would have nothing to do with that.
Shanahan at the line, just missed Messier with the pass, and that will do it. As Bukna has returned to the ice. Here's a turnover. Zdeno Seger can't get loose. At the point, chopped back in by Varholak. And now out comes Team Canada, led by Trevor Linden. Dancing in is Adam Graves, and he fired it wide. And Slovakia not taking any chances, just clearing it away.
Trevor Linden, a good rush, and we were wondering whether he'd be able to play after that big hit from John Leclerc yesterday.
Here's Claude Lemieux, who got the early ejection from the game last night in Philadelphia. Lemieux behind the net, lost his footing. Linden has it. Trevor Linden trying to get away from Ivan Tropa. Here's a shot steered aside. Sylvain Cote at the point for Team Canada, seeing his first action in the World Cup. Tropa at center. Cross ice pass. Trying to catch up with it was Chatan, and that was broken up. Cote lets it go around the boards, and Lemieux at center. Lost control of it. Varholak up ahead, and here comes Slovakia. Canada turns that over and gets it outside the line. Chatan is after it. Canada will dump it in off the stick of Scott Stevens. In for checking is Joe Sakic with Yzerman. Ribovic can't get it out for the Slovaks. Now Varholak. Over 5.5 minutes gone. First period, still no score. And a good pace here at the Corral Center. Here's Theo Fleury. Snapped the shot wide. Canada still with just one shot on goal. In front, Primo! Stopped by Mega. So Keith Primo has returned to the ice. After leaving, he collides with Varholak, comes up with a puck. This is the big line for Canada. Size-wise, Lindros with Shanahan and Primo. Puck along the boards, chopped out to center, pass foot.
Chris, you talked about that 12-pound advantage. How about the advantage this line has, trying to get the puck deep and using their size?
Shanahan 215, Lindros 230, Primo 210. And the Slovaks with only two 200-pounders amongst their forwards. Here's Dom Foose swinging away, and Lindros on the move. Desjardins is with him. Puck sliding behind Lindros, cleared to the line, off the skate of Desjardins. Hopping on it is Bondra. He scored a beauty last night against the Russians, but can't break in. Palffy forechecking against Niedermayer. We've passed the 7-minute mark of this first period, and Gretzky's upended. Play will continue. And now the Canadian fans upset with Mark Fawcett. Peter Bondra handed it away, and it just hopped over the stick of Gretzky. Niedermayer sends it ahead. Gretzky back in with Dom Foose. Dom Foose off the inboards, taken out by Bacha. It'll be kept in by Cote. Trevor Linden has it along the boards. Watched by Palffy, and now Bacha sends it ahead, and here's a break. Over the line, it's Palffy dropping it. There's a shot, and Curtis Joseph with a dandy off stumble. Gretzky on the counterattack for Canada. It's wide open. Trevor Linden turns. Graves is in front. The pass picked off, and a lead pass just too far for Palffy, who would have had a breakaway. Instead, it's offside. So wide open, scoreless action in the World Cup of Hockey.
Keith Primo has been the most consistent forward for the Canadian team. Great scoring chance, but he's had no luck around the net. Here's a little chip-in try. Roman Mega makes the save. And at the other end, Palffy drops it back for Joseph Stumple. Stumple takes a shot. What a great save by Curtis Joseph.
From the face-off, that shot by Coffey didn't get through. Kept in at the line. Foot took a hit. He went down. And the Canadians wary of the fact that the Slovaks will leave men high, and they'll often counter with 2-on-1s or breakaways. We saw a lot of that against Russia and in the pre-tournament game against Canada.
And how many NHL teams would like a line of Palffy, Bondra, and Stumple? It wouldn't be a bad line on any team. The Canadian defensive pairing, Sylvain Cote is in, Rob Blake is out. Adam Foote had a good physical game against the U.S. team. Keith Primo with that good scoring chance had his bell rung. Steve Yzerman in, Brendan Shanahan is back, and Claude Lemieux, there was some doubt whether he'd play. His nose mangled yesterday in that altercation with Keith Tkachuk, but he's all right, he's back out there.
And Steve Yzerman is on the ice with Sakic and Fleury seeing his first action at this level since the '84 Canada Cup, and it's fitting. It's in his hometown of Ottawa. Desjardins sends it in, and Yzerman will pick up the forecheck. Puck cleared past Fleury. Now Yzerman behind the net trying to center it, and Coffey couldn't reach it. Back the other way from the Slovaks, that's Seeger. Seeger with Kolnick dropping it to the point. Varholek shot, and it's underneath Joseph. We played 9 minutes, 11 seconds of the first period. Still no score.
NHL players off this Slovak team. Peter Bondra of Washington, everybody knows what he's done. Over 50 goals, 34 goals in a 47-game season. Zygmunt Palffy's having contract problems. He had 43 goals. Zdeno Seeger is going to stay over in Slovakia. He's not going to sign with the Oilers, although he's had a lucrative offer.
Glenn Sather had words with Seeger before the game. There's a quick shot right on Joseph, and he'll pounce on it and hold on. And I don't think Glenn Sather feels it's a done deal yet. That might be one of those European contracts signed in pencil, and he's still working on it.
With the big out clause, and Pavel Demitra only played 7 games for Ottawa last year. Glenn Sather's had some problems. Doug Weight has played exceptionally well for Team USA. He hasn't signed. Jason Arnott, the big guns for the Oilers, waiting for that last-minute contract.
Still no score in this high-tempo first period between these two teams. Sylvain Cote, the late addition to the Team Canada defense with the virus that sent Al McInnes home. Eric Lindros on the move. He's cut off, but Keith Primo follows up. Shanahan parked in front. And coming away with the puck is the Ottawa Senators' Pavel Demitra. He fires it in. That doesn't get through. And back out at center. Lindros looking for it in his skates. And here's Jurgis Thatcha. Played 10 games a few years back with the Hartford Whalers. Stevens around the boards. It'll be kept in, and now ricochets off Lindros out to center. Back in comes Demitra. He was spun down. And Foote takes over, paired with Paul Coffey, and that was the best defensive pairing for the Canadians last night. Coffey rolling it in. Thatcha hit along the boards. Gretzky centers in front, and the shot was stopped by Mega as Trevor Linden was robbed, and now a penalty coming up as the Slovaks go on the offensive. Here is Ribovic in front, Joseph down, and the puck ruled by the net, and the first penalty to Team Canada being assessed by Mark Bossette.
Cross-checking penalty against Vinny Donfus after that great chance by Trevor Linden. So far, Roman Mega has impressed me. He's cut down the angles well on those shots in the slot. There's been a couple of great scoring chances against Roman Mega, and he's come out, cut down the angle. He's a little goaltender, and he's going to have to do that, try and fill up more of the net. There's Mega looking around, and there's the penalty. Vincent Donfus knocks down the defenseman in front, takes a cross-checking penalty.
Canada has killed off 8 of 9 penalties in the tournament.
Number 25, Vincent Donfus, 2 minutes for cross-checking at 10:45.
There's Mark Fawcett talking to both benches.
I don't know if that was a comment on the penalty call, but it looked like Fawcett got some water as he went by the Canadian bench.
The ice looks pretty good. It's been a beautiful day here in Ottawa, very warm, but the ice looks hard and fast.
And that wasn't the case last night at the new Core State Center. And immediately, Canada's Adam Graves sends it the length of the ice. The Slovaks 1 for 5 in the game against Russia on the power play. And the Russians did them in by going 3 for 5 against the Slovakian penalty killing unit. And once again, it's sent down the ice. Messier goes after it. Mega had trouble with it, with Messier moving in. Didn't drop kick it, but almost dropped it into Messier's skates.
There's Mega looking up, and his defenseman comes back, gives him a little tap on the pads. Mark Messier coming in, and Mega looked up before he stopped the puck. Went to shoot it before he had it. Mega's looking for the play, and then he fans on it and does the smart thing after he fanned on it, takes the whistle.
Well, when we talked to Joseph Golonka, the coach of Slovakia this morning, he was kind of lamenting the fact his team doesn't have a goalie of the stature of Zarilla, who was a big star in 1976 in the Canada Cup. Roman Mega is in the firing line in his first international game here in the World Cup. Was expected to be the backup to Jaromir Dragan, who performed so poorly in their opening game yesterday in Montreal. There's a shot from the point. Joseph got a piece of that. Niedermeyer trying to push it ahead. Now it's sent to the line, and it gets out. Varholek dropping it back, and 32-year-old Otto Haschek to Kolnick, who clears it in. Niedermeyer with a chance to get it out again, and there's Varholek at center. Under 8 minutes to go in this first period, and we're still scoreless. Here you see the time left in the penalty. The score clock here not functioning, so the sellout crowd here in Ottawa unaware of the time remaining. The pass back to the point goes by everybody and back down the ice.
Joseph Golonka talking about his special teams, their problems, and he said throwing the team together and the difference in talent level. The NHL guy's so much better than the rest of his crew. It's hard to get a good power play out there.
That was Bacha from his own side of center, but Slovaks got to the puck first and maintained possession. Here's a shot, doesn't get through. And Canada will turn. Here's Dom Foose out of the penalty box, and Mega out of the goal crease to freeze the puck as Svelop and Dom Foose tangle at the side of the net. 7:01 to play, first period at the Corel Center in Ottawa.
Steve Yzerman getting a chance to play and adding some fire to this Team Canada lineup. He was so anxious to play. It was exciting. It was like he was a kid again, back playing his first NHL game.
After Wayne Gretzky, he has more points in a Canadian uniform than any other player that is on Team Canada at the international level. He has played so many world championships. And after missing 87 and 91, the bitter disappointment, he is back and trying to play through a knee strain. But that's not new to Steve Yzerman's career. There was some question that he might have to be dropped again because of the knee problems, but he assured Glenn Sather that it was something that was in his control.
With great prices and Canadian Tire money, you won't just save, you'll score. Canadian Tire, everyday low prices made better.
Talked about players being excited about playing in this tournament. How about Wayne Gretzky after he scored the third goal yesterday? Did he not look like a kid getting his first NHL goal? Got the team back in it, even though Brett Hull did get an empty netter to ice it away.
Asked Mark Crawford this morning about the players that have impressed him that he's never been involved with before, and maybe not unexpected. unexpectedly, Wayne Gretzky came to the top of the list. Just the excitement he brings to the rink in these situations. Here's Primo giving chase and getting to the puck first for Canada. His pass broken up, and Ribovich will start back with that flowing mane. Send it into the Canada zone. Around the boards, and Brendan Shanahan is back. Canada sending it ahead, and here's the smooth skating Paul Coffey ahead to Lindros. Flipping it into the corner. After it is Yzerman. Steve Yzerman in the corner. Still fighting for it. Shanahan along the boards. Draped there by Kolnick, and the puck comes loose for the Slovaks. Off the boards and back down into the Canadian zone, and this is icing against Slovakia.
Eric Lindros trying to give his team a spark with his physical play. Had Lubomir Ribovich lined up. But you have to watch the Europeans. When they see the hit coming, a lot of times they'll duck. And here's Ribovich. He sees the hit coming. Now look at this. He gets down as low as he can, and Lindros has to watch out that he doesn't go over top and himself go crashing into the boards.
Aaron Fleury on the draw for Canada, but it comes to Dropa, property of the Chicago Blackhawks. And one of their best defensemen in the game yesterday against Russia. It's Dropa number 3, who's also the biggest defenseman on the blue line. And here's a break. Coming in is Hasek, and Joseph down to make the stop off the veteran Otto Hasek.
Another great save by Curtis Joseph. He hasn't been that busy, but the chances against, we talked about the Slovaks' ability to create good scoring chances. Here's another one, Otto Hasek. He's in by himself. He head up all the way. Joseph waits, and then Hasek's got nothing to shoot at. He's 32 years old, but you talk to the coaching staff and say, who's the best player not in the NHL? And they all say it's this guy. But he is 32, and there won't be many NHL teams interested.
Joseph has surprisingly been as busy as Mega at the other end so far. And we're still scoreless with under 5 minutes to play in the first period. Adam Graves went after it, but back the other way is Richard Zednik, 20 years of age. He sends it across. Here's Dimitro without the helmet. That was broken up by Niedermayer. And Canada starts back off the stick of Lemieux ahead to Messier. Here's Mark Messier moving in. Turned it back and handed it to young Zednik, who's played with the Portland Winterhawks, and rolls it into the Canada zone. Scott Stevens up at center. Gretzky with a nifty pass to Lemieux. And Canada on the attack. Down Foose. Kicked aside by Mega. In behind the net. Puck still loose. Jammed out Gretzky. Rebound. Gretzky can't reach it. As Canada comes close, Don Foose and Gretzky, and they draw the penalty against Slovakia. So when we come back to the Corel Center, Team Canada on the power play.
Miroslav Shatan takes a tripping penalty on Wayne Gretzky, and this was an iffy one. Shatan's from behind. Gretzky's on the way down. There's the trip. Good call by Mark Fawcett. I thought Gretzky took a dive, but when I see the replay, it wasn't. 15:53 the time of that tripping penalty against Shatan.
Lindros, Dom Foose, Gretzky up front for Canada. Puck flipped over the glass, and Gretzky pointing out to Mark Fawcett off the stick of a Slovak player.
Mark Fawcett looked over at Scott Driscoll and got some help from his linesman. Face off deep in the Slovak zone. We haven't seen that emotional drive and intensity. We hate to use that intensity word all the time, but Team Canada hasn't played like ugly Canadians that you would like to see them play against a team that they could dominate physically. They haven't taken the body on this Slovak team like I thought they would.
Conn Smythe Trophy winner Joe Sakic parked behind Lindros, who wins control of the puck from the faceoff. Center down, Foose whipped it wide. Coffey to Gretzky. Back to Coffey, Gretzky, and the shot was blocked by Bacha on the nifty setup by Paul Coffey.
You're Fergus Baccia was highly thought of by Hartford, but he doesn't skate very well. He's a smart defenseman there, a good smart play getting in front of Gretzky.
Back in comes Team Canada. Lindros crashing down with Svela. And again, the Slovaks get it to center. 45 seconds gone in the power play. Bondra knocks it free. And again, sent down the ice by Haščák. Canada changes its power play a minute in. Coffey ahead to Fleury on the right side. There's Theo Fleury. And he's checked. Barhalik gets it ahead, kept in Desjardins. Out in front of the net. Messier retreats. Haščák there again, and it ricocheted off the veteran Slovak forward out to center. The fans getting a little anxious here as Niedermayer and Fleury crash in there. In behind the net is Messier. Back it comes. Niedermayer, shot right on. Big rebound comes out for Shanahan. Theo Fleury in the corner, had it hop over his stick. Messier in there, and he runs into Haščák. Otto Haščák went down. Now Messier pulled down, no call. Desjardins keeps it in. Back to Messier. 5 seconds left in the power play. There's the shot right on. Mega down, and Niedermayer couldn't tame the bouncing puck. Slovakia back at full strength as Ribovic can't get it out. At the line, it's finally poked ahead, and Kolnick got it out. Now Fleury dumping it back in under 2 minutes to go in the first period, and it's still scoreless. Canada and Slovakia. Sent out to center, and here's Miroslav Šatan. Šatan, the Edmonton Oiler, over the line. Hit by Cote, and Canada turns back. Lemieux to Trevor Linden, trying to get around Svela. And Svela knocks down Claude Lemieux, who was sandwiched on the play. The Florida Panther defenseman gets it ahead. Now Pavel Dimitrov dancing across the Canadian line. Dimitrov shot off Cote wide. Dimitrov in behind the net. Baccia had moved up but didn't get the pass. Behind the goal, Zednik is hit. This line for Slovakia, 20-year-old and two 21-year-olds. And now into the final minute of the first period. Sylvain Cote and Scott Stevens paired here. And now Team Canada moves ahead. Trevor Linden backhands it deep, and he'll go to the Canada bench. Foot can't keep it in. And now turning it back in is Eric Lindros. Big shot. Mega got his pad on that. Lindros bumping. Mega centered in front. And Primo just failed to put it in. Back the other way comes Palffy and Bondra. Peter Bondra, who's had a quiet first period. In behind the net, stole it, trying to center it out in front, and Foot is there. Into the final 10 seconds, and Coffey played it off the boards, turned over, Stumple shooting it just wide. Around it goes and fired down the ice on Mega, and that will do it for the first period at the Corel Center. One of the killers for Team Slovakia yesterday was they gave up a goal with 2 seconds left against the Russians. They almost did the same thing here in the last 30 seconds. Keith Primo with another great scoring chance. A turnover by the goaltender. Eric Lindros has the original chance. Mega makes the save, goes out to handle it, and then gives it away. Lindros is in quickly. Primo is out in front, but he can't make contact. Goaltender gets back, gets his stick on it, and Primo's there and just can't bank it towards the empty net. A couple of close calls for Keith Primo in that first period, and I would think Joseph Galanka, who was relatively satisfied with most of his team yesterday, would be very pleased with that opening 20 minutes as we join Ron McLean.
Chris, thanks a lot. Here's Adam Graves. And Adam, obviously a difficult first period. What do you think about it?
Well, obviously, would have liked to have gotten the first goal in the first period there, but I think we got to get a little bit more rubber on the net and stay disciplined and take care of our own zone. You know, they like to get in behind and get the breaks, and as you know, they got one breakaway that period, so we got to limit those.
That's Don's coming up in a moment, and he said it looks like Slovakia is just sitting back waiting for turnovers while you try to press the play a bit. When Glenn spoke about this game plan, did he say take the body more? Because it appeared that maybe there weren't as many hits, but that could be them.
Yeah, most definitely. I think maybe to get a few more hits, we can dump the puck in a little bit more, and we're forcing a little bit at the blue lines. But for the most part, I think it all starts in our own zone. I think that's what hurt us a little bit last night is our defensive play, and take it from there and be patient, especially when they have one up and four back. Because if you're not patient, then they break up plays and they'll get odd man rushes.
Nothing wrong with not being behind. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
There's Adam Graves of Team Canada. It's scoreless at the end of a period of play. Don Cherry, as I say, will join me next as our coverage of the World Cup of Hockey continues from Ottawa in a moment.
A lot of people that know me well would say that, you're weird or you're different. You go out on your own line and stuff like that. But, I just think I'm pretty confident with what I am, And I think that's, I don't really worry too much what other people think of me, besides my good friends,
Hey, we got the Hamilton Bulldogs here. We got the American Hockey League. You'll see this? You like that?
Yes.
Good. We got a whole crowd in here tonight. And
that's from Gary Kaplan, who's in charge of media relations for this new Bulldogs team in Hamilton, yes. Edmonton's farm team. He said, hope you like the Bulldog. Don't show it to Ron. It's pretty tough. It might scare him. I don't like that, Gary. But anyway,
anyhow, you can see what they're doing. And as Adam says, what's happening is all they're doing is sending one guy in, four guy back, and we're still trying to fight our way through. Tough.
Coming into tonight, Slovakia is probably thinking the Czech Republic. Their arch rivals. They're out of the tournament. They got a little something to prove. They were close against the Russians, but do you get the feeling Canada will eventually open it up?
It's tough. I hated when I had the Boston Bruins playing a team like this because all they're doing is playing it tight, throwing the puck out, waiting for a break. We've got to win. They're going nowhere. Very, very tough to play a team like this.
This Mega's never been in a major international game. He looks sensational. So did Curtis Joseph, though. We're not for him. How about that period to compliment Curtis? No other thoughts on the game?
Everybody's good?
You just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, good. We got 9,000 guys in here, but that's okay.
Now, let's talk about Team USA. We had a nice little visit. One funny story. I got to tell you this. 2 nights ago, Don's leaving in Vancouver, and he sees a big bag of popcorn. You know how the concessions, they have these enormous bags, and he's sort of dropping hints. It'd be nice to take that popcorn back. I don't know what he's talking about. Then we're in Philadelphia, and he's got some actual popcorn from the concession. He wraps it up. He says, put this in your briefcase. I said, what are we going to do with that? He says, never mind, I want it. And lo and behold, Glenn Sather's leaving after the game with one of them big cellophane plastic bags of popcorn.
Good old guy. He's going to have a few pops with it and everything like that. It's going along. But let's talk about USA team. I was going to have some fun. I was going to say Hull. In fact, I went to the players afterward. I said, well, Canada really won because Hull got 4 points and he's a Canadian and all that. And I looked at these guys. They were all in Blazers. Team USA. Unbelievable. Good coach. Johnny Kniff, Paul Holmgren, Louis Lamoriello. Done a great job. And the one thing, I listened to what you talked about there with Hull after, and he said, one thing we didn't have is grit. And they've got it now. And that's the thing that I see is losing hockey here. With your fair play commission, penalty free, and why keep scoring stuff, that's the one thing we got over everybody. And you can see tonight, it's tough for us to play like this. If these guys come out banging and everything, I'm sure their coach, Slovakia, said, don't get anybody upset, just play the game. That's the one thing we don't have, that we have over everybody else.
You ever have team jackets? Why didn't you have them in Boston?
I had, let me tell you, I didn't have them in Boston because it wasn't a thing to do. But I remember when I was in Rochester, I kept going to the owners all the time. I says, could we get Blazers, nice burgundy Blazers? And they said, no, it costs too much. And one time we were having breakfast and Larry Robinson of the Canadians and John Beliveau walked in. We got him to play. And I remember this year I was at a few tournaments. I couldn't believe it. Here's the kids walking around, about 8 or 9 years old, shirts and ties with their. You got to look good. To be good, you got to look good.
What'd you do with the mouth guard? I wanted to show a couple of things. Brett Lindros, I'm thinking of Eric here. It's probably bothering him that Brett's not playing. I know Gary Roberts, God love him. This will be the time of the year he's probably itching to get going, and of course he had to retire.
Yeah, that was a tough
Pat Burns, we'll hear from in the second intermission, but you had a little tip for the kids.
Where is it? I don't see where it went.
With it. Oh,
there it is. Hey, I told you we got guys around.
Good to have a crowd in here.
All right, glad you're in here. Anyhow, this is not a new thing. We had this in Colorado, but football players have this all the time. And for you kids out there and mom and dads, we always try to give you little hints and stuff like that. This is good. Put this in so when you get hit, bang. You know what I mean? When you get hit, it takes the little shock off the whole thing. And we were fooling around and we're having fun with it. But when you get those concussions, well, what about Matt Dunnigan in Hamilton, the football? 3 in a row. Kid, you know what I'm talking about?
What was the other thing for Brendan Shanahan?
Oh, no, all right. For all you guys with Brendan Shanahan, you know, and Brendan's and Brian, well, not so much Brian, he's married and everything, but Brendan was, his brother, a good lacrosse player, by the way. One thing they were really ticked off about is that fan that was up there, and I firmly believe that she is a fan, and I'd like to make 2 points about it. She is a fan. We'd like to show it right now. Oh, quiet, you love it too. What are you talking about? All right, we're going to show it now as we go out for all the fans. Shania Twain, Twin. Anyhow, pretty good, eh? That's for Brendan Shanahan. He's single.
All right, if it's for Brendan. Canadians are very good at...
Welcome back to the Corel Center in Ottawa, ready for the second period between Canada and Slovakia. And a scoreless tie so far. Canada starting with the big line of Lindros, Shanahan, and Primo against Palffy, Stumple, and Bondra. And again, Mega a little unorthodox as he freezes the puck. Moments ago, Ron McLean was outside the Team Canada dressing room.
Here's Mark Crawford. Mark, your thoughts on the first period?
Oh, I thought that our club had success when we got the puck in deep and really tried to work the Slovakian defense. That's where our strength is. We got some big, strong forwards down in deep, so we've got to make good decisions coming into their end, get it in deep, and then take the puck to the net with some authority.
Use that size advantage that they've got on the ice right now with Lindros, Shanahan, and Primo, but it's Bondra up with it. For Slovakia, Stumple lost control of it. Palffy knocks it in that first period. Neither Palffy or Bondra had a shot on goal. Those two combining for 95 goals last year in the NHL. Palffy did set up Stumple on one good scoring chance. Here's Lindros over the line. Eric Lindros trying to power his way in front and knocked down with Shanahan. It's centered and it comes all the way out to Bondra. At center ice, it's Stumple of the Bruins putting it over to Palffy, and his shot went wide. Around the boards it comes, and Gretzky's on the ice. Brendan Shanahan to the line. Nice pass back to Gretzky, moving in. Gretzky circles the net, centers it, and it's by everybody and back down the ice.
Vincent Donfus, and as Mark Crawford said, going hard to the net. Donfus right in the net. Gretzky couldn't hit him.
Scott Stevens over center, pounding it in. There's Donfus behind the net. Gretzky quickly out in front. And nobody there for Team Canada. Stevens at the line. Gets it to Linden. In the slot, Donfus quickly in front. Gretzky up into Dropa. And play will continue. Ivan Dropa out on the left wing. Pass went off. Seeger, who gives chase. Getting back there first is Cote. Scott Stevens plays it against the flow, and Linden will go over and get it. Here's Trevor Linden, checked on the play. Seeger has the puck, feeding it back across. Otto Haschek in for Kolnick, couldn't get loose. Haschek almost had it again. Does come up with it. Tried to ring the boards, and Joseph cut it off. Pitching in on the play, the Slovakian defenseman Buknov. And Cote will try to get it out. Goes past Linden the length of the ice. Mega will play it. Adam Graves goes after it, and there's Messier. Mark Messier sweeps it in behind the net. Adam Foote moved up to keep it alive for Canada. Graves has his man tied up. Claude Lemieux is up with it. Here's Lemieux on his backhand. Getting it back to Coffey. The flip shot didn't get by Haschek, and out comes Slovakia 2-on-1. Shatan over the line. Nice move, and Foote was able to impede the shot. Here's Graves sending it out to Lemieux. Long shot on Mega. Not sure where it is, but his defenseman gathers it up and sends it ahead. Niedermeyer broke that up for Team Canada. The Canadians turn, led by Fleury. Here's Theron Fleury over the line. And he to get a shot on goal. Slovakians start back. Shatan will fire it in deep. Eric Desjardins for Team Canada. Around boards, kept in by Svela. Here's Shatan, can't get a shot away. And it's pushed ahead by Niedermeyer. Joe Sakic checked at the line, following in. It's called on the offside. Just nicely underway. The second period from the Corel Center in Ottawa.
I dream I am awake, and nothing is beyond my wildest dreams. I dream of never having to say, "Would you like fries with that?" I dream up excuses when I'm late, because even lies are part of the truth. I dream about a pot of gold, playing guitar, finding someone to share everything with, and diving headfirst into everything. Seems the dreams I have when I'm awake are the most interesting I can imagine. And I imagine I'm old.
They want you on set. This is your big scene.
They really should just write me out.
Out of the scene?
No, actually, out of the whole show.
Canadian Stars on the ice and in the stands at the Corel Center. There's Glenroy Gilbert, one of the gold medalists in the men's 4x100 relay, taking in the action here. Gold in Atlanta. Canada going to work on gold here at the World Cup.
People here in Ottawa were asked to dress in Canadian colors. That's why Glenroy Gilbert has the sweatsuit on. But there's Roman Mega making the save. The first time he's looked doubtful all night was the last shift when Claude Lemieux had that long shot. And he looked behind him. He had some problems. But other than that, he's been very solid, good angles, goaltender. Can't handle the puck much, takes a lot of whistles. But so far, the Slovaks have been able to win at least their own fair share of the faceoffs. Here's Mega again, out top of the circles, good position, makes the save and hangs on.
So you're saying he's playing bigger than his stature?
He is.
5'9", 160? Or
he's playing like Mike Vernon, who is just about the same size.
In his first international game. Here's Stumple hitting the line. Bonder streaking on right wing. It comes to Palffy, who was following up. And that puck deflects into the crowd.
George Kingston and the Germans coming to Montreal to play the North American #2 team, and here in Ottawa at the Corel Center, North American #3 team versus Finland. And Finland today looked very good. They got ahead 2-0, but then, Chris, they seemed to sit back and try and protect the lead. On the road in Sweden, it didn't work.
Matt Sundin and Peter Forsberg put on a show. Sweden will play next Saturday in Philadelphia. And Canada can finish first, second, third, or fourth in this North American pool. A lot will ride on the game tomorrow between Russia and the United States. Bob Cole, Harry Neal, Scott Russell are ready for that one. 7 o'clock at Madison Square Garden. John Garrett will be on hand for that as well. Canada can still finish first if they win here on goal differential, coupled with a Russian win over the United States tomorrow night. Here's Sakic trying to thread it through. Couldn't beat Svela with the pass. Sakic gets it back again. Svela watching him. And now Bondra can't get it up. Fleury dumped at the line. Cote goes after it. Sylvain Cote, Sakic behind the net. Yzerman in front. Here's Stevens shooting right off the goal post. Best chance of the second period for Canada. Yzerman, Stevens again! And this time Mega got a piece of that shot. So Canada hitting the defenseman, moving in on the attack, but now it's Slovakia and Palffy on the backhand, centered it, and Sakic comes back defensively. Vincent Damphus on the move on right wing. Gretzky hopped over the boards to join the rush, but the puck ends up in the Team Canada bench. So Canada comes close, but Mega standing tall.
It's true that
Roman Mega, no chance. He's looking the wrong way. Scott Stevens comes in off the crossbar. No luck around the net for Scott Stevens.
Looks like Mega got a piece of that off the glove and then off the bar. And Canada with 2 good chances in that last shift for Scott Stevens, but still scoreless. And we're 5:40 into the second period. Here's a shot in front, ricocheted, desperately cleared to the line. Beyond, Damphus scores!
the net. Watch Vinny Domfus going to the net. The shot from Coffey comes through. Domfus circles around behind the net, comes out in front, gets the rebound, and stuffs it up and over Roman Mega. Chris, you've been talking about that goal differential. They have to start pumping some by the Slovak goaltender. Domfus goes to the net, gets the rebound, and just chips it up and over the goaltender.
So Vincent Domfus has his second goal of the tournament. Coffey and Linden the assists on the goal at 5:49 of the second period. And let's see how that swings the momentum of this tightly played game so far.
Scored by number 25,
Adam Foote back into his own zone, hit against the boards. Puck centered in front. Coffey there. Here on the backhand. A chance for the Slovaks, and it's finally cleared by Coffey off the stick of Pavel Dimitra. Robert Svela back in his own zone, pushing it ahead. It's kept in by Eric Lindros. Lemieux shooting, and a nice toe stop by Mega. Lindros has the rebound. It's Dropa hanging on as Lindros is knocked to the ice. At the point for Niedermayer, bouncing it back in wide. Lindros, as the Canadians now turn up the heat. Lemieux can't handle it, and the Slovaks get it out, and a near breakaway for Zednik. Joseph will play it off to the corner. Now Shatan keeps it in. Here's Dimitra walking in. Joseph, and the rebound knocked to the line, and out by Shanahan. So the Slovaks bouncing right back with an opportunity to score. But Team Canada has the lead on Vincent Domfus' goal. And now Shanahan moving in and called on the offside as Lindros was trapped inside the line on the far side.
Smart plays on the Domfus goal. Domfus going to the net, but what a shot by Paul Coffey. It's not how hard, but you have to get the shot through. The little snapshot by Coffey gets through. Domfus goes to the net, takes his time, and flips it up and over Mega.
Joe Sakic's on the ice with Yzerman and Fleury. Holland up the boards, kept in. Sakic couldn't find it in his skates. Sent right back in by Stevens. Here's Sakic forechecking against Svela. That's a matchup from last year's Stanley Cup final. And the Slovaks just send it down the ice, racing for it is Cote, and he'll get there to get the icing call.
Canadian Tire has great prices on everything you need. Plus, earn Canadian Tire money with every cash purchase of merchandise. Canadian Tire, everyday low prices made better.
Well, you mentioned differential, and I think Canada has to be thinking about that in the back of their mind if they want to finish first. But the coaching staff said that wasn't anything addressed in the pregame to his team. Just worry about winning and doing the things Mark Crawford talked about. There is some discussion as Foote shoots it in, and Mega down, didn't know where it was, and falls back on it. There is some question, though, whether or not Canada wouldn't prefer to finish second and not get the 7 or 8 day layoff.
It's a long time to be off. We saw Team USA, how flat they were in the first period last night. Here's a shot come through. Mega didn't know where it was. It squeaked through his pads, but he's able to fall down and cover it up.
And play whistle down at center ice, and a penalty is being assessed.
Paul Coffey is going off, and I don't know what signal that was Mark Fawcett gave us.
But the Slovaks down by a goal. Get another chance on the power play.
There's Paul Coffey on Zygmunt Palffy, the hook from behind. And a good call again by Mark Fawcett.
Stumple, Bondra, Palffy up front. Svela and Macha on defense, and Macha had the power play goal for the Slovaks in their 7-4 loss to Russia yesterday in Montreal. Jurgis Baccia, cross ice pass, Stumple missed it. Halfie taken to the boards by Graves. Well, Desjardins has a chance to work it off the boards down the ice. First half minute of Coffey's minor is gone. 1-0 Team Canada on the goal by Vincent Damphousse. Slovakia looking for the equalizer on this power play as Halfie got it behind the net. Bondra. Here's Baccia at the point off the skate of Bondra, and it's flipped ahead by Linden. Trevor Linden and Vincent Damphousse are the penalty killers. Here's Svela. Robert Svela with 34 power play points for Florida, and the shot scores! Peter Bondra! As Svela set up Bondra for the tying goal.
And a power play goal, 54 seconds left in the penalty to Paul Coffey, and a goal scorer's goal. Able to control an aerial pass, the puck is bouncing, and Peter Bondra is still able to keep it on his stick. It's bouncing, it's up in the air, and he's still able to snap it through Curtis Joseph. Here's Bondra starts to play, and this pass is not a good pass. It's bouncing, it's still hopping, it's on edge. Hard for Curtis Joseph to read, and Bondra able to bang it home.
52 goals in 67 games. Last year for the Washington Capitals, Svela gets the lone assist. And it's 1-1, and when we talked to Peter Bondra this morning as the captain, he is the leader of this team. When we asked what advice he might have for the younger players who have not played at this level before, and he said, make sure we don't hang our head and start to quit when we fall behind. They keep playing hard, and they fall behind 1-0, and Bondra gets them right back on even terms at 9:12. So less than 4 minutes after the goal by Canada, the Slovaks have tied it. Here they come again, a shot going wide. Canada turning it up at center ice. Brendan Shanahan with Lindros over the line. Lindros taken to the boards, Primo in behind the net. He's being watched there by Buknov. Scrum behind the net, and out with it is a breakaway pass, and this is Kolnick. Kolnick coming in, and Joseph got a piece of that. And we've seen that in this game and in the tournament. The Slovaks able to poach and get those breaks. Here's a quick shot. Great stop by Joseph.
A giveaway by Scott Stevens, and Curtis Joseph bailed him out.
Shanahan dumps it in, and Canada will change. We've passed the midway point of this second period. And it's a 1-1 tie. There's a big collision at center ice as Adam Foote stepped into Zednik. Slovakia sending it in. And now Damphousse plays it for Foote around the boards. Linden on right wing. Coffey jumps up. Here's Coffey to the line with Gretzky trying to barge through. Loose puck. And Dimitrov sends it back out to center. 9 minutes left, second period. Damphousse for Team Canada. And Peter Bondra for Slovakia. Here's Gretzky to Damphousse. The drop pass onto the stick of Shatan. Coffey backhanding it in, and Gretzky trying to skate under it. He centers it out in front, chipped away. And turning with it is Shatan. To the line, can't get by Niedermeyer. Following up is Dimitrov. And that pass broken up. Here comes Claude Lemieux with Messier. A couple of former Conn Smythe Trophy winners on the attack for Canada. Messier has it, trying to center it, and he can't keep it in. He'll have to regroup at center. Canada has outshot Slovakia 18-12. Over the line, a quick shot by Lemieux. Curtis Joseph leaving the net as play whistled down. And we've got a penalty coming up with 8:05 to go in this second period.
Peter Bondra is lapping with Mark Fawcett. Team Slovakia had too many men on the ice. Curtis Joseph saw it. He was halfway out to the blue line. Kevin Collins saw it. Joseph Galanka doesn't agree with it, but his team is going to play short-handed.
There won't be much of an argument because Mr. Galanka does not speak English.
Penalty to be served by number 22.
And the youngster Richard Zednik of the Portland Winterhawks will serve the penalty. Actually, formerly of the Winterhawks, a draft choice of Washington, and he played one game with the Capitals at the conclusion of the regular season. And Team Canada now looking for a go-ahead goal on the power play. Gretzky parked behind the net. Yzerman goes to the net, and that shot deflecting wide. Now Yzerman behind the goal. Gretzky peels off. Lindros finds some space. Quick shot. Mega kicked it out. Coffey and Sakic at the points. There's Coffey. And the puck batted off the glove of Bondra out to center. Joe Sakic will lead Team Canada in. Lindros on the left wing. Bodied by Stumple. And Yzerman works it free. Steve Yzerman shooting. Vega was coming off the post and came back across. Took a stick from Lindros, but holds on.
Mega was looking for the pass over to Wayne Gretzky. He saw Gretzky at the other side. Yzerman changed his mind. Tried to go back against the grain. Wayne Gretzky sets up Yzerman earlier. Here's the pass out. Yzerman can't get the shot through. Some good coverage by Robert Strela. And here's the second chance by Yzerman. Good work in the corner. Fights off his check. The pick by Eric Lindros. He looks at Gretzky. He's trying to get the puck over. Bacha's there. Gets it to his goaltender.
66 seconds remaining in the power play for Team Canada. And Messier gets set to take the face-off. Up against Haschuk. And Canada wins the draw. Mark Desjardins, his shot bouncing in front. Make it down, and Messier couldn't get it over the prone goaltender.
Mega went down early, but Jan Varhalik, look at it, right? Varhalik came back. Messier had to wait for the goaltender to go down. Messier's at the side of the net. Varhalik comes back. Messier waits for the goaltender. Varhalik just gets a stick on it. Mega's able to cover up the rebound. Messier is wide open, but he can't control the puck. He waits for the goaltender to go down, and Varhalik has time to recover and tip it to his goaltender. Messier didn't play much in the first period, special teams only. He's played more here in the second, out with 56 seconds left in this power play.
Shanahan and Fleury have joined him now. Haschuk ready for this face-off against Messier. And again, Canada controls off the draw. Theo Fleury looking to set it up, flips it through, and Shanahan was standing on the doorstep. Mega didn't give up a rebound.
Mega's been pretty good controlling the rebounds. That one, a little shot by Fleury. He was looking for a rebound for Shanahan. Fleury cuts to the middle of the ice, trying to get a screen. Shanahan backs off the screen, goes for the tip-in or the rebound. Neither there.
Well, Brendan Shanahan had a couple of goals in that pre-tournament game against Slovakia.
Back from his one-game suspension.
Messier, another face-off win with 45 seconds left in this power play. Shanahan along the boards, got it back to Desjardins. Niedermeyer, one-timer in the blast. Went wide. Fleury up with it. Fleury being watched by Kolnick. Desjardins. Niedermeyer, checked by Seeger, got it back again. In behind the net and swept around the boards. And down the ice. 15 seconds left in the penalty as Canada goes to the attack. Messier over the line. Fleury with room, shoots it right on. And the rebound bounced over Seeger's stick, kept in by Shanahan. There's a weak pass that gets to Fleury in front. Niedermeyer off the side of the net as the penalty is expired. Shanahan, quick shot off Mega. Niedermeyer moved in and just missed. Now Messier warding off a check. Fleury in the corner. Shanahan Bounce by Svela. Messier crashing in there. Seeger hit hard by Fleury. And Fleury trying to come up with the puck. Finally, it comes loose, and it's Kolnick getting it down the ice for the Slovaks. That's Zednik out of the penalty box. Richard Zednik against Niedermayer, and Niedermayer takes him out. Chatan knocked down by Desjardins. Niedermayer can't come up with it. There's a loose puck in front. Demitra looks for it. And finally, Canada comes free. Here's Gretzky to the line, and he's checked by Dropa. Domfus followed up. And that was a delayed offside. Dropa with it, plays it off the glass and back out. Under 5 minutes to go, second period, still tied at 1. Here's Gretzky shooting, and that hit the goal post. Gretzky hit the outside of the post, looking for the go-ahead goal. Still 1-1. Lead pass cut off by Dropa. And now Chatan's on the move. Here's Chatan with Demitra. Following up, a shot goes wide off the stick of Chatan. Down the boards for Scott Stevens. He sends it out through center and down the ice. And Ribovic will turn with it. Here's Ribovic. Handing it off to Bacho, tried to one-hand it and lost it to Sakic. Sakic over the line. Yzerman after it in the corner. Sakic looking for it. It's cleared ahead. Tipped in by Stevens. Kicked out by Mega. There's a shot back in by Fleury. Yzerman behind the net to Sakic. Fleury parked in front. Here's Joe Sakic in front. And Mega went down. Yzerman along the boards. This Sakic behind the net. Stevens moving up. And Canada now starting to exert more pressure in the zone. Sakic at the line. Gets it to Cote. Looking to center it. Hit Bacha. Back to Sakic. Chatan knocked him off stride. Sakic got it again. And now the Slovaks get it out to center.
And when they do get it out to center, they always have somebody circling around waiting for a breakaway.
Good shift there by Sakic, Fleury, and Yzerman. Here's a breakaway pass for Palffy. Too far, and Joseph clears it around. Lindros tries the far side. And it's back for Coffey. Up to Keith Primo, knocked off his stick. And Brendan Shanahan turns at his own line. He's checked by Stumple. Cleared ahead by Palffy. Bondra couldn't catch up with it. Under 3 minutes to go in the second period. A 1-1 tie. And suddenly, goal differential doesn't seem that important. Shanahan at his own line. He's gloved down by Svela. He was chopped down, but cleared it back in. On the move is Adam Foote. Flipping it into the Slovak zone. Svela plays it around. There's Adam Graves with it. Here's Desjardins moving in, trying to center it for Lemieux. That was broken up, and starting back is Zygmunt Palffy. Palffy over the line, looked across, and that one just knocked off the stick of Hasek. Sent back in by Buchnock. Cleared to Joseph, who steered it aside. Hasek and Kolnick working for Slovakia in the Canadian zone. Kolnick trying to center it. It comes to Hasek. Hasek can't get a shot away. And it's rolled to center by Team Canada with under 2 minutes to play in the second period. Now the Slovakians back on the attack. This is Pollock centering it in front. On the line, they score! And Slovakia has taken the lead on a goal by Lubomir Kolnick.
That shot went up off Curtis Joseph and hit the top of the net inside the webbing. Kolnick went to the front of the net. Shots on goal were 26-11 at this point. The Slovak throw it out. Kolnick's there. It's off Joseph. It's up. It's in. Drops down. Joseph tries to cover it up, but that one's in already. Kolnick does his best NHL goal celebration dance. Better look at it from our net cam. It's up, it's in, just behind the post. Back out over the line, and that's a great shot from the net cam off the webbing and in.
Now there will be video replay, but that Net cam replay showed that it did hit the net in behind the red line and came out. Kolnick, the 1990 draft choice of the New Jersey Devils, fitting in that it's like Slovakia has been playing that New Jersey Devil hockey in this game, just as Igor Larionov commented after the game yesterday in Montreal, and now Canada is behind 2-1 late in the second period. Kolnick the goal, Varholak the assist. It's 2-1 Slovakia.
AT&T language line, may I help you?
I need a Chinese interpreter. I got an emergency here, please, quickly.
Yes, sir, I'll put you right through.
Varholak goes wide on Eric Desjardins, and Kolnick goes to the net. He just, off the skate, tips it up. It hits Joseph, goes in behind the post, hits the webbing, comes down outside the line, but the video replay clearly showed it was in.
Red light a little slow to come on, but no question, a legal goal and a 2-1 lead for Slovakia. Minute 15 to go in this second period as Peter Bondra sweeps it into the Canadian zone. Zygmunt Palffy after it. In behind the net, Scott Stevens for Canada. Up ahead to Gretzky. He rolls it in on the right side. Under a minute to go in this second period at the Corel Center, and it's a quiet building right now since the goal by Kolnick. Here's a shot by Stevens, and that went through traffic just wide. Cote, in behind the net is Gretzky. Centering it out in front, loose puck. Tom Foose fighting for it. He'll go to the boards. Trying to get it back in behind the net for Gretzky, and Bacha was there. Deflected out by the Slovaks. And we now have a half minute to go in the second period. At the line, Dom Foose hops in with Linden and Gretzky. Off the stick of Gretzky and cleared down the ice. Coffey racing back to get it on the icing call with 17.3 seconds left in the second period.
Paul Coffey showing good speed to go back and get that puck and give his team some time in the offensive zone. He didn't lazily go back to get that icing, hustled back, saved a few seconds for his team to operate.
Well, this is why they didn't want to be caught up in the differential game here tonight. That shouldn't have been the focus, and clearly now the focus is much different. Winning the hockey game, very much going to be a battle against these Slovaks. Here's Sakic, side of the net, and Mega has it covered on the short side. Remember Ron McLean off the top. Slovakia has never lost to Team Canada. And Andy Murray on the coaching staff was with the national team when Slovakia played its first ever game as an independent nation at the World Championships in '96, and that was a 3-3 tie in Vienna. 8 seconds to go in the period. Lindros on this face-off against Haščák, who's been waved out. So Kolnick, who has the go-ahead goal, moves in. And the draw comes out in front. Played by Bacha off the boards. They won't make the similar mistake in the late stages of the second period here as they did against the Russians. And in this game, Slovakia will head to the dressing room with the lead. Kolnick the goal, and after 40 minutes in Ottawa, it's 2-1 Slovakia.
Equalizer, and now Slovakia goes to the third period with a one-goal cushion. Here's the captain of the Slovaks, Peter Bondra. Congratulations, Peter, on a beautiful goal and a great period. Tell us about the game so far.
I think we are pretty happy so far. We're playing what we tried to play all game. We tried to stay back, make sure we are helping our defensive. Make sure we don't have a big gap between each other forwards and defensemen. So we play kind of North American style, pretty tight game, and we're just waiting for their mistakes.
Your story personally is a great one because you were born in the Ukraine, and although you lived in Czechoslovakia, never played for the national teams because you had a Russian citizenship at the time. So what's it mean to you to be the captain of the Slovak team?
I think it's a big honor for me just to be here and play for Slovak national team. Obviously, everybody wants to play for their country, so there's a chance for me and for our team to play here and show up. We have a good hockey club, good hockey team, and so far we're doing a pretty good job.
We're surprised a bit by Roman Mega. Did you know he was going to be this good tonight? Had you seen him before?
He's hot. I haven't seen him before. It's probably his best game of his life, so he's doing well.
Is it maybe the Czech Republic going out of the tournament that gives you added incentive to try and advance to the next round?
Of course, it's a great challenge for us to win the game, and hopefully we're going to win the game. We will try all to win the game.
Well, congratulations. Job well done through 2. Good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
Peter Bondar, the star of the Washington Capitals, leading Team Slovakia here, leading by a score of 2-1, as we say, through 2 periods of play. And here's the goal Peter scored in that second that drew the team even. And as we thank Peter for his great performance, we're going to bring Pat Burns, of course, former head coach of the Montreal Canadiens and Toronto Maple Leafs, and like Don Cherry. Actually, Don was going to give you the jacket. I don't know what happened.
It's a little bit too small.
What do you think if you're Mark Crawford, Glenn Sather, Eddie Johnson? You're in the room huddling right now, I'm sure, in a complete bit of frustration.
Well, they are, and I think the fans are on them a little bit too, but I think what you'll see now is a lot of the leadership of the Team Canada players will stand up in a dressing room and probably get a good message across. You don't have to say much then. I can't see Glenn or Mark or Eddie Johnson having to say too much right now. I think the players will definitely rally, and you'll see the honor and the pride come out now.
Right, you can't jump on the Canadians and don't want to, but I know you felt it and Don did too before the game. If you're going to get this job done, you'd want to do it in the first 10-15 minutes, and that didn't happen. Why do you think?
Well, I think what they tried to do is that we were maybe trying to be a little bit too fancy, and you know, the score of the game definitely does not show what the game is all about. Up to now, I think they're dominating, but they just can't seem to get it by. When you meet a frustrating a goalie like that who makes those stops, it's really, really frustrating on your hockey club because you're trying and you're wasting a lot of energy. So it's going to be interesting in the third period.
You knew he had some luck when he fanned on the one and it hit his skate. Listen, one thought for Gary Roberts, who's itching out in Calgary and wondering what he's going to do with himself. How's it been for you to sit back at home in cottage country here in Quebec and wish you were probably drawing up some plays for training camp?
Oh, it's definitely difficult. I really start feeling about 2 weeks now when everything starts up, and it's good to get back in doing a little bit of commentating here, but you certainly like to be behind a bench somewhere.
Yeah, that's good news. You'll be there or you'll be on TV. Either way, you're in the game. Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
And now you can go do the SRC interview too, so you're a busy man this evening. Well, as we say, 2-1, Slovaks are putting forth a great effort and a surprise so far here as we continue our coverage from the Corps Center in Ottawa. Level meetings are going to Ottawa Valley. There's Brian Kilray and Don Cherry, 2 great pals from Kingston and Ottawa. And speaking of great hockey minds, Glenn Sather's working right now on a game plan for the third period. Let's spend some time with Glenn.
Team Canada's mastermind has become its coach at the 11th hour. Glenn Sather manages to step behind the bench because Scotty Bowman says he won't this time.
Well, it was certainly a surprise to me. And then, of course, you know, when that happened, you're really faced with the problems that kind of come out of it, because if you ask somebody else to coach, he didn't have any input in the type of players or the type of team that we had. So I was involved in the player selection of the players with Scotty, and I guess at that point the easiest thing to do was to do it myself. I wanted to be, you know, around Mark and Wayne and Paul and some of the other guys that I'd coached before. These guys are getting a little long in the tooth. They don't want to admit it, but we all are. And I think with them it was sort of a chance to be reunited with them in a tough circumstance that we've been in so many good battles together, that the opportunity to be with them one more time was going to be a terrific chance. So I figured, why not? Might as well do it. For some of these guys that know me very well, we've done a lot of things together. And, you know, I'm fortunate that a lot of them have that kind of respect for me, because that's the biggest and the most difficult thing the coach has. You know, when you say something to them, they have to believe that what you say is right, or it's not going to work. And I suppose with some of the things that we've done or that I've talked about, and it's worked for these players, you know, they've remembered it. I always think it's not the coach, it's the players that do it. You know, we blow a lot of hot air once in a while, but the players are the ones that execute it. In keeping things simple, it becomes very complicated, because there's a message that has to be delivered that you have to play as hard as possible. There is no room to coast out here. There's no time to take off. When you're on the ice and you've got a job, the way it's interwoven with the rest of the players and the team play and how we react, they'll know they'll know exactly what I expect out of them, how to get it done. And it's simple. You know, kids can do it. But it takes a great player with a lot of ability and a lot of intelligence to be able to do it and react to it when he's going to. I mean, everything needs to happen in a split second. And they have to know what's coming before it even is there for them. And they'll be able to do that.
One of the great gifts to Canadian hockey, Glenn Sather. We'll continue our coverage from Ottawa after this. If you're just joining us, that's the story. Slovakia 2, Canada 1. The Canadians are work cut out as they head to the third period. Before you see USA-Russia World Cup hockey tomorrow, the CFL's back on CBC, as they say in Hamilton, Oski Wee Wee, as they say in Calgary, Eski O-O. For more on that story, let's go now to Scott Oak.
Nothing signals the turn for home in the CFL as clearly as a Labor Day meeting of the Hamilton Ticats and Toronto Argonauts. Don Matthews' Argos, led by Doug Flutie, are cruising atop the East Division. Don Southern's Ticats, with a lengthy injury list, including Matt Dunnigan, are struggling. But on Labor Day at Ivor Wynne Stadium, records matter not.
When the Argos try... Thank you, Scott. The CFL on CBC, a doubleheader for Labor Day tomorrow. Let's go to Chris Cuthbert.
A run upsets aren't unusual on Labor Day, but I'm not sure about the Sunday before Labor Day. 2-1. Slovakia takes the lead into the third period. John, when Canada left the ice after 40 minutes, they heard more than their share of boos. Always seems that Canada has to face some adversity.
Pat Burns made a good point about the leadership, the players' leadership. You don't need the coaches to come in and rant and rave. I'm sure Mark Messier had a few words for the troops.
Here's Boccia dropping it off. Palffy moving in the shot, and that hits somebody in front. Vondra taken to the boards by Lindros. Palffy trying to dig it free, and it comes to Shanahan. Out to Niedermeyer at center ice, and he'll roll it into the Slovakian zone as the Canadians, with a short shift to start, 45 seconds into the game, they'll change it up. There's a loose puck at the line, off Linden and back in. And Otto Haschuk, who assisted on the go-ahead goal, has it for Slovakia, out to center, and Sylvain Cote is there. He's chased back by Zdeno Seeger. At the line, gloved by Varholek, and that glove pass is whistled down. Here's how the scoring has gone. Dom Foos in the second period gave Canada the lead, but less than 4 minutes later, Bondra on the power play, the feed from Svela, and late in the second period, the goal by Kolnick, and you can see the shots on goal lopsided in Canada's favor, 30-14.
Shots on goal lopsided, but again, Team Canada gave up another breakaway in that second period. That was their third breakaway that they've given up so far in this game.
And we have the scoring chances at 16-8 in favor of Canada. 2-1 advantage. Curtis Joseph knocking that one down. It comes out to Kolnick, who plays it off the boards, and Cote takes over. But Roman Mega has had a hot hand in his international debut. Here's Gretzky on the move. Gretzky feeds it across. Stevens moving up. It comes to Gretzky, the backhand. Mega sprawling. That would have hit the side of the net. Fired around, kept in by Stevens. Out in front of Foos with the deflection, and it was swept from the goal mouth the length of the ice. And icing the call against Slovakia.
Wayne Gretzky, with the spin-around backhand, almost had Roman Mega beaten. The shot, as you said, Chris, would have hit the side of the net, but Vincent Dom Foos' chance just about trickled in. Scott Stevens has a shot. Gretzky's off balance. He's going away. The shot would have gone wide, but Mega makes the save anyway. And here's a Dom Foos deflection. That would have gone in. That would have caught the post. But Mega's defenseman came back, cleared the paint. Here's another look at it. Dom Foos just tips it by the goaltender. And that's just cleared.
Here's a chance for Fleury. Rebound, scores! Theron Fleury has tied it.
And here's a little pushing and shoving after the goal. And in comes Adam Foote. And when you're playing in the World Championships, you don't mind being ugly. You go in, you do this kind of stuff after the whistle. You don't care so much about what's written about you in the paper or what's said on the radio or on TV. And you play your usual game. Well, Canada has team that they should dominate. Aaron Fleury is one of the players who can play with so much emotion. Here's the shot by Fleury through the maze of players, driving the net. The third quality scoring chance here in the third period. Fleury gets his own rebound and gets it up and over Roman Mega. And now the Slovaks are trying to slow this down. Fleury followed his own rebound and snapped it up and over the goaltender. And both goals now have been on rebounds where Mega has gone down. And the Canadians have got it up and over, and that's tough when you play a goaltender who hasn't played before. You don't have a scouting report.
2:02 the time of the 2-2 goal for Canada. Fleury from Yzerman and Coffey. And Theoren Fleury's second goal of the tournament has tied the score at 2. Fleury looked like he was getting dangerous in that second period and picked up the momentum here in the third. Lindros, Messier. Get it in, so Messier is out with Eric Lindros and Brendan Shanahan, who crashes into Varholek. Ribovic trying to get it out, and it's center. Messier will take over. Here comes Coffey on the move. Paul Coffey puts it into the goal mouth. Lindros behind the net. Here's a puck knocked out of midair by Foot. Play continues. The Slovaks thought it should have been called on the high stick, and icing will be called instead. And Mark Fawcett's getting an earful from Ivan Dropa.
It was a high stick, but the Slovaks touched the puck first. And that's what Mark Fawcett is explaining now to the Slovak bench. He waved it off. Adam Foote did knock it down with a high stick, but the Slovaks touched it first. And now he's explaining it to Peter Bondra. And Joseph Kalanko will get the translation. Team Canada led by Brendan Shanahan here in the third period. Good solid hit on Varholek. And this is the way Team Canada has to play. Get the puck deep, use your advantage inside, use the body.
Steve Yzerman, here comes Wasatsi said, Paul Coffey.
Here comes Slovakia out to center ice. We've hit the 3-minute mark as Medrick passes it across. That's picked off by Dom Foose, who flips it ahead, and Gretzky's in pursuit. Wayne Gretzky deep in the zone, tried to center it. That hit Mega on the short side. And turning back, rink-wide pass by Palpe, too far. And Gretzky's on the attack again. Wayne Gretzky shooting. That hits the post on the rebound. Ricochet to Dom Foose. And the Canadians have regained the momentum in a big way here early in the third period.
And Vincent Donfus, another good scoring chance. He's had one on both his shifts here in the third period. And Team Canada is all over Team Slovakia. That's their third icing of the period.
3:40 gone, third period, and a 2-2 tie at the Corel Center.
Russia, that was a big win. Overall wins. There can be ties after overtime in the preliminary rounds. Goals for and against is the big one. And Team Canada thought they could pile a lot up here, but now they're just looking for the win. Here's the Gretzky shot. It goes to Dom Foose. His shot hits the side of the net just behind the goalpost.
From the face-off, puck in the corner. Fleury jostling with Haščák back there. They double-team the Slovak forward. Sakic along the far boards takes his man out, but the Slovaks are up with it, and they skate to center. Here's a 3-on-2 as they hit the line. Seeger's pass broken up by Fleury, who came back. Sylvain Cote watched by Seeger. It comes to Fleury off the boards and ahead to Yzerman in front of the Team Canada bench. He lost control of it. And now at the line, it's Yzerman picking it up and finding Fleury with Sakic. Nice move by Fleury. Moving in. Sakic follows. Can't find it. Now the shot. And Mega got a piece of that. At center ice, Sakic with the loose puck again. Dumps it back in. And Team Canada will change. And the fans right back behind the Canadian team now. Adam Foote back to get it in his own zone, paired with Coffey. Coffey skating out to center. That goes off Dimitra, but Team Canada follows Shanahan, the quick shot. Gets his own rebound, looks to center it, and the Ottawa Senator Dimitra comes up with it. He plays it off the boards ahead to Miroslav Shatan. Chetan with Batcha moving up, shooting, and that may have grazed the post off Curtis Joseph. Shanahan plays it around, Messier far side, got it over the line, and there's Zednik with it. Jurgis Batcha plays it up, and scooting after it is the 20-year-old Zednik. Washington Capital property, plays it in deep. Dimitra there off the boards. Chetan behind the net now, trying to cycle in front. Chetan, loose puck. And Curtis Joseph is down to get the whistle. We're still tied at 2 early in the third period.
Oh, finally a night to myself. This is so great.
Come away with me, Ron.
Could these be any better?
In the Canada zone, and the Canadians have won the bulk of the draws so far tonight, and Trevor Linden's on the move for Canada. Here's Linden trying to get around Dropa. In behind the net, Domfus, nice pass out in front. Dropa recovered, and Peter Bondra, hounded by Gretzky, gets it out to center. They're looking for a breakaway pass to Palffy. Here's Palffy putting it in front, Bondra there, and it hit Joseph Stumple in front of the net. Dropa out at center ice. Peter Bondra, who has scored for Slovakia in this 2-2 tie, pounds it back in on Joseph. Here's Scott Niedermayer up to Trevor Linden. Linden fires it around the glass, and Yzerman first man to it. Steve Yzerman off the boards. Tries to feed it back. Fleury off the bench, drills one right on. At the point, there's Cote's shot off the target. And it's Hasek out at center. Fleury there for Team Canada. Puck played ahead, and Zdeno Seeger, who wired one in against Russia last night, worked it in. Blocked by Stevens. Ahead to Yzerman. Here's Yzerman passing it to Cote, and on right wing Fleury. Shooting it, and that missed by a foot. Stevens on the far side. And it's picked up by Slovakia, and Batcha, the veteran defenseman, will work it over center. Here come the Slovaks on the attack. Played back to Batcha, shooting right on, and Joseph hangs on. Chetan was on the doorstep. Brendan Shanahan leaves it for Lindros, full head of steam. Eric Lindros barging in, and Batcha got back to knock it off his stick. Shanahan ran over Batcha, and we're getting a penalty to Batcha prior to the Shanahan hit for slashing. When we return, Glenn Sather's team is on the power play.
Jurgis Batcha is in the penalty box for slashing at 7:34. Batcha just hasn't got the foot speed. Lindros is by him. There's one chop. The second chop, Mark Boisset had the arm up. Batcha's in the penalty box.
Well, the Canadians came in 4 for 11 in the tournament, 0 for 3 tonight, but the last power play more dangerous with 4 shots on goal. Coffey's high shot tipped down by Lindros. Domfus plays it to Gretzky. Takes a look back across, and that went off Svela. Sakic moves up from his point position. Domfus behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky to Coffey. Over it goes, in front, and that was cut off by Stumple, who gets it out. And we passed the 8-minute mark of the third period. It's a 2-2 tie. Domfus brings it around to Gretzky on the far side. Stumple was there, and he comes up with it. Can't get it by Sakic at the point. Pass into the slot, broken up, and now Bondra back. And Bondra will go for a skate as the penalty killers change, and Canada sends out some fresh troops on the power play.
Joseph Galaga getting a lot of mileage out of Peter Bondra and Zygmunt Palffy and Joseph Stumple. His 3 stars playing a lot, killing penalties, and on the power play.
Coffey goes rink wide to Gretzky, and Sakic, that quick wrist shot, deflecting high and back down the ice. And 45 seconds left in Team Canada's power play. Puck wrapped around by Zednik, and now Fleury will turn. He has the tying goal in this third period. A lead pass for Shanahan broken up. And back is Hasek, and he has been one of the Slovaks' best tonight. Down to the final 15 seconds of the power play. And it's Scott Niedermayer hitting Mark Messier, and Messier couldn't take the pass. Desjardins back in his own zone, checked by Seeger. And now Canada 0 for 4 as Batcher returns to the ice. Backhanded in by Fleury, and Mega won't take any chances with Steve Yzerman moving in on him.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
Glenn Sather has his team back on even terms. The power play has been one of the strong suits for Canada in this tournament, but not tonight against Joseph Galanka's team. He told us earlier today, John, our team can play offense. We're worried about our defensive abilities, but they've held the Canadians to 2 goals so far through close to 50 minutes of action.
And after the Russians were 3 for 5 last night, you knew they'd make some adjustments, killing penalties, and they've done pretty well.
They did not have a shot on goal on that last power play, and Galanka, a stern taskmaster, he got rid of the goaltender and 2 defensemen who he wasn't happy with last night, and obviously the teams responded this evening.
I like how most coaches will beat around the bush and say, well, you know, it's a numbers game. We want to give everybody some ice time. Not Joseph Galanka. He said individual mistakes, and those individuals aren't playing tonight.
Keith Primo after it. Primo out with Claude Lemieux along the boards, and Yzerman centering this line now. Here's Yzerman behind the net, putting it back to Stevens. He dumps it into the corner, and Claude Lemieux is there. Former New Jersey teammates out together, Lemieux and Stevens. There's Yzerman playing it to Lemieux. Primo is in front of the net. Lemieux can't get it out front. And it's played around the boards, knocked down by Cote. Good play to keep it in, and now the Slovaks will get it out off the stick of Bondra and down the ice. Not Stevens. Funny Karam off the corner boards there, and Yzerman out at center ice. Here's Ottawa native Steve Yzerman hitting the line. Can't get loose. And a lead pass over 2 lines is called on the offside. Back to the Corral center as Coffey puts it in front. There's a shot blocked in front. And the Slovaks are up with it. Seeger sends it over on right wing. Hasek couldn't find it. Seeger has it again, hands it to Linden, who can't corral it. And Otto Hasek sends it into the Canada zone. 8:45 to go in this 2-2 tie. And if it's tied at the end of regulation time, we'll go to a 10-minute overtime period. Bacha takes his return feed from Hasek. Bacha, shot blocked by Foot. Hasek on it, centers it off Coffey to Curtis Joseph, and he'll pounce on the loose puck. 8:26 to play in regulation time.
Okay, everyone. Let's try one more time. 2 minutes to curtain, everyone. We've got to get ready. Place this.
Mr. Davis.
Tried, tested, and true. I know that you'll always come through.
Turtles, turtles, and more turtles. Incoming turtles.
How many do we have?
33.
Okay.
And outgoing turtles.
Well, we got up to 97, and my husband said to me one night, he said, "We've got a problem here."
But MJ Willard doesn't collect turtles, she saves them.
If you want to go back to the hotel, down the river that way, okay?
On the Road Again with Wayne Rostad, Tuesday at 7.
Roman May Ortega, the busier of the two goaltenders, but he hasn't had any breakaways on him. Curtis Joseph has had 3 years of pass-out. Paul Coffey has Skolnick all tied up, tips it to his goaltender. Joseph alert, he falls on it, gets a whistle.
Dimitra and Messier on the face-off, won by Team Canada. Play to the line, kept in by Bacha. Dimitra after it, and he'll backhand it into the Canada zone. Here's Eric Desjardins over center, flipping it in, and Shanahan will forecheck. Shanahan after it, so is Lindros crashing in there. Messier trying to knock it free, and he does send it deep. Shanahan in the corner. Lindros was out in front. Now Lindros gets it. Out to Desjardins. There's the flip shot in front. Batted down, and Zednik has it. And he'll just dump it to center ice. Here's Dimitra scooting in. Up against Desjardins, the centering pass knocked away. Miroslav Shatan has it. He drops it off. Kropa's shot wide of the mark. Shatan behind the net. Miroslav Shatan knocked off the puck by Desjardins. Shatan looking for it again. It's center. Joseph one save and another. Still down. Curtis Joseph comes up big for Canada as the Slovaks come that close to taking the lead.
Canada's defense gets all tied up. Eric Desjardins is in trouble. The puck is in his skates, and Scott Niedermayer comes in. Niedermayer and Desjardins are both behind the net. Niedermayer shows some rookie mistakes. He's one of the youngsters on this team. Got trapped in behind the net, and Curtis Joseph bailed both his defensemen out. Wide open. Joseph, the first save, the second save, gets in position, follows the puck, good concentration, makes the third save.
Oh, Richard Zednik's going to think about that tonight. 2 chances right in front of Curtis Joseph, and it's still 2-2 with 7:15 to play in regulation time in Canada's final game of the round robin in the North American pool. And the Slovaks seem intent on trying to make it the final game for Canada in the tournament. Sylvain Cote, long lead pass, too far for Sakic, who races after it against Svela. Yzerman's in after it. He's taken off the puck, and Svela coolly plays it ahead on the tape to Zygmunt Palffy with Bondra. Here's Peter Bondra misfiring on the shot. Scott Stevens. Boy, the Slovaks can counterattack, and now the Canadians on the move, but Fleury's pass missed Sakic. Sylvain Cote off the boards. Chopped back in over the glass off the stick of Fleury. 6:22 to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's World Cup.
Chris, you talk about the ability of the Slovak team to counterattack, and it's Palffy and Bondra and Stumpel who are the players. They get in behind the defense, create those 3-on-2s, and they're dangerous. 2-on-2, 3-on-2. Here's Bondra off the feet. Great puck control. We saw on his goal how he could control the rolling puck there. He used his feet, kicked it up, and had a good scoring chance.
Here's another chance now. The puck just shot wide. Zednik behind the net trying to center it. It comes back to the point. Buknok keeps it alive for Slovakia. Quick shot on Joseph, and he's going to hang on because the Slovakian team has had some chances in the last couple of minutes, and the concern reflected at the Canadian bench.
Great start here in the third period, the Fleury goal, but then that power play at 7:34 on the Bacha slash on Lindros seemed to turn the momentum back in favor of the Slovaks. They did a great job killing that penalty. Canada's power play, which has been very ineffective tonight, seemed to make the whole team sag, and the fans started to boo them again. And the fans who were very involved here at the start of the third period now trying to get something going again.
Well, if the Czechs have been the biggest disappointment of the tournament so far, the Slovaks have been one of the most pleasant surprises, and in the case of Canadians, maybe a shock. 6:04 left. Third period, 2-2. Messier and Hasek, and Canada gets it out from the faceoff. Varapalak off the boards. Out to Seeger, he lost it, and Lindros brings it in. Eric Lindros looking for Shanahan. but the Slovaks turn. Seeger and Hasek over the line. They're stopped, and Shanahan pushes it ahead. Messier with momentum. Takes the wrist shot high on Mega. That shot ricocheted off a skate to the backboards, and Messier's there with Shanahan. Messier along the boards. Varholak trying to tie it up. Shanahan got it loose. Couldn't get it to Lindros in front. Seeger to the line, just rules it in as the Slovaks make a change, and now Canada changing their front line as well. Lindros stays out, and it's turned over, and here's Zednik moving back into the backhand, and that one whipped just wide. Richard Zednik looking dangerous. He's after it again, fights off his man. Here's Zednik moving into the slot, shooting, and that deflects off the target. And the Slovaks are taking it to Team Canada. Now it's sent ahead. Lindros still out on the ice. And here's Lindros, and Dropa sprawling to knock it off his stick. Puck ahead for Shatan. Working into the zone, trying to work by Desjardins, hit the side of the net. Here's a puck in front, and it's pounded wide by Ribovic, but there's a high sticking penalty going against Slovakia. 4:27 to go.
The World Cup of Hockey returns to Corral Center on Friday, September.
Well, the Slovak fans are enjoying this. No penalty, by the way, on the play. A high stick on the puck, and here's how it happened.
Here's the high stick, and the good solid hit by Niedermayer, and I can see why you thought there might be a penalty. Niedermayer had his elbow up. No penalty called by Mark Fawcett.
Trying to get me off the hook?
Yes.
Thanks. 4:15 to play. Regulation time. A 2-2 tie. Canada and Slovakia. Fleury after it for Canada against Botchup. Here's Joe Sakic prying it free for Yzerman behind the net. And now Sakic again has control. Sips the shot. Make it, rebound, scores! Steve Yzerman!
From in front, Joe Sakic, the wrist shot, and Sakic always hits the net. Yzerman's there for the screen. Sakic spins, fires. Yzerman screens the goaltender and then gets the rebound. Vega, no chance. He couldn't see this shot from Sakic. Who's the screen? It's Yzerman. Who gets the rebound? Yzerman. Spin around, quick backhand. No chance for Roman Vega.
Oh, how sweet that is for the guy who did not make the 87 or 91 teams, and because of a knee problem almost missed the final cut on this team. But Steve Yzerman has thrilled his hometown fans with a go-ahead goal. But it's not done yet. 3-2 Canada. Sakic gets the assist to 16-10.
16-10.
Here come the Slovaks back with Hasek leading the way. He lost the puck at the line, and turning back, it's Lindros to Cote, long shot, and Mega gloves that, and he'll hold on.
Steve Yzerman, Joe Sakic, and Theoren Fleury have really given Team Canada a spark here in the third period. Fleury with a goal, and now Yzerman with the goal. Net cam look, Roman Mega is looking right through Yzerman's legs. Can't find the puck, and there's Yzerman getting the rebound off the Sakic wrist shot. No chance for Mega, and he has been unbelievable tonight. That's 37 shots on goal fired his way. No chance on that one.
At 11:30 this morning, when Steve Yzerman was asked by one of our crew if he was playing tonight, he said no. But the Canadian coaching staff made the decision to change it up and give him a shot in his hometown, and he has come up enormous in this third period. There's Zednik feeding it across, and that shot off the skate wide. These Slovaks won't quit. 3 minutes to go, and Shanahan slow to get up. Here's a chance in front, and it bounced off over Zednik's skate, and Shanahan knocks his man down. There are 2 Slovaks on the ice. Dimitra down, and another on the hit by Shanahan. Centered in front, and Shanahan's all tied up. The Slovakians are in an uproar, and their coach has hopped over the boards.
Is this one of the coaches or the trainer? Out they come.
It's Zednik and
Dimitra.
Dimitra down. That's Zednik.
Zednik seems to be some blood. Shanahan was clipped with a high stick, and he stayed down. There was no call. He got up, and he was a runaway train through Zednik and Dimitra. They both look like they're going to be all right. Zednik is up on one knee. He's nodding at Peter Bondra. Yeah, going to be okay. Future teammates, I would say. Zednik, draft choice of the Washington Capitals, and Pavel Dimitra looks like he is more injured than Zednik.
I think Zednik got the stick of Dimitra. Let's see how it happened. Now, Shanahan had just gotten up himself, and he had been shaken up.
There's Shanahan, and yes, it is. It's the stick of Dimitra comes across and catches Zednik in the face.
And now there is a conference in front of the scorekeepers area where Mark Fawcett is conferring with the linesman. I guess he just wants to make sure that was a high stick from Zednik's teammate and not one of the Team Canada players.
And Mark Fawcett talking things over with Peter Bondra, and Joseph Galanka looks on.
2:39 to play, and Canada has a 3-2 lead. And let's take a look at how Brendan Shanahan was shaken up just prior to that.
There's Zednik, and he rakes Shanahan right in the face with the high stick, and there was no call on that play. Here's Zednik, the stick up by the shoulder, and then right in Shanahan's face. Shanahan laid on the ice, didn't get the call, and then he retaliated, but it wasn't Shanahan's stick. It was Dimitra's stick that caught Zednik.
Zednik not shy about the ref going. He played with Portland last year and picked up 154 penalty minutes in the Western Hockey League.
Now here comes Shanahan after the hit. He catches the knee of Dimitra, and there's the stick catching Zednik across the face. Here's the high stick. Zednik on Shanahan. High stick catches him. No call. Now, had there been a call there, this all would have been avoided. Shanahan's down. There's no call. He's going to retaliate. He comes back. Dimitra sees him coming, tries to get out of the way. Shanahan catches his leg, and Dimitra's stick catches Zednik's face.
And through all that, no penalties called.
Joseph Galanka. He has a case. There should have been a call on Shanahan, but there should have been a call on Zednik.
Canada wins the faceoff. There's a shot drifting high over the shoulder of Mega. After it, Fleury sandwiched along the boards. Yzerman after it. Yzerman, the hero right now to Sakic, and that shot just went wide. Ribovic out to center ice. 2:20 left. Canada holding on to a precarious one-goal lead as Svela is back to touch it, and icing called against the Canadians.
Glenn Sather comes right back with the Fleury line. Fleury, Yzerman, and Sakic. They have been the spark plugs here in the third period.
Fleury with the tying goal, and Yzerman with the go-ahead marker.
Yzerman with the assist on the Fleury goal.
Who would have thought it would have been such a battle tonight? Slovakia lost their first exhibition game to the Americans 9-2. Canada won 7-4 in Edmonton. They lost 7-4 to Russia last night, but they have given Canada all they could handle here tonight. And it's still not done. A one-goal lead for the Canadians with 2:13 to play. Seeger behind the net, knocked away by Coffey. kept in at the line. And now the Canadians get it out off the stick of Linden. Here's Zdeno Seeger. Trying to feed it ahead. That's Hasek or Kolnick over the line. Couldn't handle the bouncing pass. And it's flipped down the ice, broken up by Dropa. Otherwise, Gretzky may have had a break. Now Seeger into Canadian territory again. He's checked. Gretzky plays it across, and Linden over the line returns it to Gretzky. Down to 90 seconds to play in regulation time. 3-2 Canada. They've outshot the Slovaks 37-22, and Canada will have to be wary of that breakaway pass that the Slovaks play so well. Here's Varholek. Long shoot in on Joseph. Rebound knocked away by Stevens. Picked up by Fleury. Here goes Theo Fleury with Yzerman again. Fleury shooting it right on Mega down. Yzerman on the doorstep again.
This line has really been the difference here in the third period, and Glenn Sather is going back to them every other shift. Here's Theron Fleury cutting across, protecting the puck, pushing it out. Talked about the size advantage of this Team Canada team, but the smallest line has done it here in the third period. Sakic, Fleury, and Steve Yzerman. Steve Yzerman drives to the net, goes to the net hard. Fleury goes wide and just fires it at the net. And this time, Steve Yzerman gets hit. Instead of providing the screen, he knocks it down, and he can't reach back to get it.
He played 4 games in the Canada Cup in '84 as a 19-year-old. Did not score a goal. He has his first goal of this level of competition tonight, and it's enormous. Final minute here. 3-2 Canada. Messier rolls it in. Lindros crashing in there against Vela. Robert Svela now plays it ahead at center. That's Palffy who has to turn back. Svela will try it again as Messier will look to bottle them up right there. Boccia to Stumple. Off Palffy deep into the Canada zone. Stevens around the boards. There's Messier. Along the boards, kept in by the Slovaks. Now the extra attacker on the ice for Slovakia. And Boccia off the blue line came in, shot wide. It's back to Boccia again. Playing it across, Vela looking for Hasek. Under 10 seconds to go now. Canada holding on to this 1-goal lead. Slovaks looking for a shot. It's not going to come, and it's cleared out, and Canada wins it, and they will advance. We're still not sure what place they'll finish in the North American pool, but Canada breathes a big sigh of relief and posts a 3-2 win.
And Glenn Sather claps his hands on the Team Canada bench. His team needed some spark in the third period. They got it from Steve Yzerman, Theron Fleury, and Joe Sakic, and they got great, consistent goaltending from Curtis Joseph.
Well, Roman Mega was huge in a losing cause for Slovakia, a team that had never lost to Canada until tonight, and they almost didn't lose here in Ottawa this evening. They can be proud of their performance tonight against Team Canada. Once again, the final score, Canada 3, Slovakia 2. Steve Yzerman, the game winner in this World Cup of Hockey game from the Corral Center in Ottawa.
Back at Ottawa, a routine victory for Team Canada versus Slovakia. 3-2 the final. Here are the scoring summaries of tonight's game. In the first period, there was none. The shots 12-7 in favor of the Canadians. Things opened up a bit in the second period. Canada gets on the board first. Vincent Damphousse, his second of the tournament from Paul Coffey, followed by Peter Bondra from Svela. And Kolnick gave Slovakia the 2-1 lead at 18:22 of the second period. The shots at that stage 30-14, and everyone was beginning to know the name Roman Mega. But in the third period, Canada found a way, led by the line of Yzerman, Sakic, and Fleury. First, it's Theron, his second goal of the World Cup at 2:02 to draw the Canadians even. And then Steve Yzerman with the game-winning goal. Former Nepean Raider comes through big from Joe Sakic at 16:10, and let's have a look at it. Maybe later on we'll show Paul Henderson's goal, but a 19 on the doorstep on a rebound looks pretty familiar to Canadians who are around in 1972. There's Stevie Y as Bondra tries albeit in vain, to take him out. And he almost had another thereafter, same spot. But it ends up 3-2 here, the Molson 3 Stars. Roman Mega made 34 saves for the Slovaks, a tremendous effort. Theron Fleury, a spark plug all night, really got it going for the Canadians. And Steve Yzerman, what can you say about the Red Wing captain with the game-winning goal and an assist on Fleury's goal? Here's Joe Sakic with the shot. Tough to tell these two apart. Good thing they shoot the other way. There's the shot by Sakic, the rebound, and Stevie Y puts it home. The Canadians, on the strength of that, are through to the next round and still have a shot at first overall in the North American pool. When we come back, you'll hear from Steve Yzerman as we continue at the Corral Center. Back in Ottawa, there's Curtis Joseph. What can you say about his effort this evening? And I believe someone was saying, I don't know who it was, sounds like Don Cherry whispering over there, Stevie Y. About Curtis Joseph, that's 2 games now. He's been dominant for the Canadians in 2 victories. There are the standings in the North American pool and the goal differential. Canada 11 and 10. So they have a 1-goal cushion. Russia, USA tomorrow evening. If the U.S. squad wins that, they'll take top spot. If the Russians win it, then it'll all come down to how the U.S. fares against Slovakia later on in the week. Congratulations, Steve Yzerman. What a game you played. Let's go right through the day. When did you know you were in? And
oh, actually, I knew yesterday in Philadelphia after the morning skate. They said, we're not going to play tonight, but we're going to play tomorrow. So actually, I flew back to Ottawa late yesterday afternoon, and it worked out well because I was able to get in here at a decent hour, whereas the rest of the team got in at about 3:30 in the morning.
Tell us about the goal. Have a look at it.
Well, not a whole lot to it. I think Joey just dug it out from behind the net, and I just kind of walked out in front, and he takes a shot. It goes right through my legs, and I mean, just sits there perfect. So I think you could have put that one in even.
I'm not sure. I think it would have trickled off to the goalpost there. All right. What's that, Don? You're recommending coiffure? Yeah, that's right. It's not coffee we're focusing on. It's coiffures with Team Canada. But you look great in your short do. I guess everybody seemed to think be the way to deal with all the heat out here.
I appreciate your concern.
Yeah, my fashion expertise. Obviously, I should have left that for drapes, I think. You know, here it's your town. The Nepean Raiders is where you got your hockey start. And, Steve, you know that you've worn this jersey before in a Canada Cup, but must feel good each and every time. What's the highlight for an international career, say, for this, maybe?
Yeah, well, you know, I played in a couple World Championships. Actually, I got into the Canada Cup way back in '84, if you remember that. But it's exciting, particularly, you know, you come into a building here in Canada and they get chanting and hearing the anthem at the beginning of the game. It was real exciting, and you know, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got in.
We're so excited for the moment. I guess we should address the fact it was a 3-2 game against Slovakia. It was a tough win.
It really was a tough win. You know, I had visions of the San Jose Sharks there for a while. They were just kind of hanging on, and every time we turn it over, it seemed they were just taking off on breakaways. Fortunately, Curtis Joseph was outstanding in that. You know, I think he only had like 25 shots, but they were all point-blank shots, and the one thing those guys can do is shoot the puck. So we held on, we played well, we played hard, and if anything, it's a good game for us to play in, and obviously it's great to win it, but a good grinded-out type of game is more of what we need.
And you know what's really great about Curtis is Brian Hayward made this point. He's never really played on teams that he didn't see a lot of shots. Now he's sitting back while you dominated one end for a bit and came up big each and every time.
In St. Louis, he was known to, you know, always led the league in shots against, and he just looked sharp again. You know, in the Russian game, he looked really sharp and quick, and you know, he was great again tonight.
Give us a thought on playing with Joe. Have you played with Joe Sakic? I seem to remember before you did.
You know, I really don't think I have. Maybe in some exhibition in the Canada Cup back in whenever it was, 91 or 87 or something. But it was great. He's such a good player, and you know, I gained so much respect for him in the playoffs last year and the way he played. And he's so quick and shoots the puck. All I was trying to do is kind of go up and down my wing and kind of stay out of their way and just force the play. You just see his wrist shot here. He had a couple more wrist shots. He got the best wrist shot in hockey, and you know, I just try to go to the front of the net on that one anyway.
Real quick release. Who else impressed you tonight? I thought Brendan Shanahan threw 2 big hits in the second all night.
Brendan played great. He played great in the pre-tournament games and was obviously a factor against the Russians. He's, you know, kind of lost a little bit in Hartford. Nobody hears a lot about him, but he's become since really the previous Canada Cup, he's become one of the dominant players in the game. I thought our defense, you know, Sylvain Cote played a great game considering I think that's his second or third day of skating. He was outstanding back there.
Amazing, actually. Let's just look ahead a little bit. What is Team Canada going to do? I imagine you stick in Ottawa and wait to see where you go, but what do you think will happen tomorrow night with Russia, USA, and then what will you do for the next 2 days?
Well, we got to, you know, some hard work and get in a couple good hard days of practice. I think tomorrow might be a day off, and that team played back-to-back games, and we're not kids anymore, you know, so we may get a day off, but it's going to be an exciting game. And, you know, I kind of think the USA has an edge over the Russians, particularly playing in the United States, and their team is playing really well right now. But we got to really work hard and get geared up. I'm not sure, we'll sit back and wait and see, but have a chance to relax tomorrow. But Tuesday and Wednesday for sure have good hard practices.
Well, what a job you did. And by the way, to follow up on Coach's Corner tonight, you wear a mouth guard. How long have you worn that?
I've actually worn it since for about 15 years, since I wore a whole mask when we were kids, and when I went to play in Peterborough, I took everything off and had a mouth guard made, and worn it ever since. So, touch wood, my teeth have remained my own for the most part.
And prevents concussions. Well, great job. Enjoy the rest tomorrow, and congrats again. It seems like you're beating St. Louis in overtime. Steve Yzerman with the game-winning goal. Canada defeats Slovakia. Let's go upstairs to Chris Cuthbert and John Garrett.
Ron, if Steve Yzerman hadn't mentioned Peterborough, you would have, but great sense of timing tonight. By the way, he keeps a pretty good secret, too, because he at least for public knowledge, said he didn't know he was going to play at noon today. Obviously, he comes up big, but let's talk about Team Canada. Are there some alarms going off, or is there concern, or was this the way you play third game in 4 nights against Slovakia?
I don't know. I think Team Slovakia played very well. They played a good team defense. They got great goaltending. But if I was Team Canada, I'd be a little bit worried because only the one line really looked like they played with some dislike. It's easy to play against the Russians when you're playing against Darius Kasparaitis. Everybody hates him. It's easy to get emotionally involved. You're playing against the U.S. You got Bill Guerin, you got John LeClaire hitting people from behind. It's easy to get wound up about a game like that. But you're playing a game tonight. Who do you get mad at? Do you get mad at Peter Bondra or Kolnick or some of these other guys? It's hard to get mad, so you have to create your own excitement, and that's what the Fleury, Sakic, Yzerman line did.
Who do you think Team Canada is cheering for tomorrow night? Do they want to finish first and get a bye in 7 or 8 days, or would they prefer to play another game in between and stay sharp?
I don't think they really care. I think if they do play another game, it will be more advantageous to them. They're a team of superstars. They enjoy playing the game. They like to be busy. I think they want to keep involved and keep busy. So I think it would be an advantage if they didn't finish first and they had to play again.
Once again, a heartstopper tonight. The Peterborough Pete is the game-winning goal, and the Star 3-2 the final. Canada over Slovakia.
October the 5th, the return of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Cujo should have been one of the stars. Those big saves they made, that's going to be the biggest save so far in the tournament. Might be for all of the tournament to keep them in the game because this was tough. I am not making excuses from Team Canada, but you and I have traveled with these guys 3 games in 4 nights. Back and forth, back and forth. They never got in until 3:30, never got to bed until 4:30. Other teams are waiting there for them. United States, like I said, they've got 3 games in a row where they can walk to the games that showed heart and courage to come back like this when you're playing a team like this. That it's like fighting somebody that didn't want to fight with a hot goaltender. It showed the old heart and courage and grit again.
Absolutely. And one other non-excuse is that it was 2-week training camp. And for them, when you talk a lot about not dumping and chasing, who's going to do it? They're all all-star forwards.
Well, that's not the point. The whole point of this here that I like to make the thing is that we didn't quit. So easy to quit. I tell you, boy, when you get a goaltender like this was the game of his life. This was their game of the life. They had nothing. It's like playing pool against a guy who doesn't have anything to lose. He's good. When they put the old chips down, they can't. You're going to ask me who I think they want to, what they want to do?
What should they do? Should they finish first? Not that
you cannot do that. You have to do whatever it goes. I think they'd want the week off. I think they want to play the top one. That's the way they want to go out. but you can't say they want to end up second.
Yeah, if they did, they'd play the Germans on Thursday night.
Yeah, it'd be a piece of, well, not a piece of cake with the 8 Canadians, but I'd like to see them take the week off. They've got a lot of injuries and go right at it. That's the way I'd like to see it.
Beyond that, the Canadian defense is still coming together, but he mentioned Sylvain Cote.
Well, if you think, well, they're coming up big, but I think, again, the guy that did the banging and the smashing is Shanahan. They missed him last night. He's the guy, and Brian was here with Shavis, his little Seamus. How do you like that for a name? Seamus Shanahan.
That's Brian Shanahan's son.
Yeah, better believe it. But Shanahan is the guy out there that bangs every time. He doesn't care who he's playing. He was the guy that got them going today.
Speaking of Brendan's brother, Brian, the Mann Cup starts on Wednesday. It's Victoria against 6 nations out of Oswego, Ontario.
Absolutely. And our national game, and is that a tough game?
Yeah.
Lacrosse.
One of 2 national games, the other of which Canada's going pretty well at now after a nail-biter this evening versus Slovakia. We will see you, I guess, on the air tomorrow evening. What a big day it'll be on CBC. Yes. 9 hours of coverage. Normally Labor Day is about 9 months, I think, but it's not tomorrow. It's about 2 football games and 1 big World Cup hockey game. We'll start at 1 o'clock with the battle at Ivor Wynne, and we'll move on to Calgary. It's the Eskimos and the Stampeders at 4 ET, and follow that with Russia versus USA. That will be a gem. 7 o'clock Eastern Time from Madison Square Garden in New York. Curtis Joseph backstops Team Canada to a 3-2 victory. The Canadians are through the round robin and on to either a playoff game or the semifinals. For all of us here in Ottawa at the Corral Center this evening, thanks for watching, and so long from CBC Sports.